Okay, so I'm trying my best to capture the experience of creating essays as I write them. And I did not do this with this essay. Um, and there's sort of two reasons for that. Um, the first is sort of that this is the most, it may not, I don't know what it comes across like, but this is the most abstract thing I've written. And I've written some fiction before, but this was something, it's the hardest thing, the biggest struggle I've had writing something. And in the beginning of the novel, there's this part where the novel is 275 pages, and the author mentions having written and thrown away 5,000 in the process of creating it. And according to Microsoft Word here, the final word count on this essay is 1450. But my guess is that I wrote 20 to 30,000 more words that I ended up just deleting. And I mentioned in the essay this idea about how like one idea can keep expanding out, or if I include one more, then I need three more to explain that sort of, and then three more for each of those, and how it just balloons. And like I said, this ended up being very abstract for me, and it just, there's so many things that I wanted to talk about, but I knew if I started talking about one of them, it would just become crazy. And it was this process of I would write something and I realized everything that would have to go in addition to that, and I would write something and I just delete it and throw it out. And yeah, it was very, very hard writing this, and because of how much didn't end up getting included, like I said, I would guess at least 90% of what I written didn't end up being included. I just, I don't know how to describe the way this essay was written. The second thing is, I don't think I want to consider this essay finished either. But it reached a point where I couldn't finish it. And what I mean by that is, last night, like I don't want to say I was obsessing over this, but it kept becoming this thing that I just wanted to make work perfectly. And I would find myself, like last night, I was lying in bed trying to fall asleep, and I would have an idea, and I got out of bed and I tried to add it to the essay, and it almost became like this compulsive thing or an obsessive thing. And this morning I was talking to my writing partner Seth, and I told him that writing this had reached a point of being very similar to the feeling of trying to remember something that's on the tip of your tongue. And in the sense of just wanting to find that last piece that's really going to make it work. But I think most people know the experience of when they have something on the tip of their tongue, realizing the frustration of trying to remember it costs more than the value of remembering it. And I think everyone knows that moment of just being like, okay, I gotta stop trying to remember this. And that's sort of the moment that I've reached with this essay, where I haven't even gone through it and looked and like the minor details to fix, like sort of the more like mechanical, like syntax, things like that. Because I know if I read this essay one more time, there's going to be more that I want to add, more that I want to delete, things like that. And so, like I said, this essay is unfinished. And the only thing I can say is that I know what it means for me to have written it, but I just hope it maintained some type of coherence for anyone else. Or it would be nice if it did, I guess. Anyways, I would say this video is sort of the end of what the essay is. But once I'm done recording this, I'm going to start recording a bonus video, which is mostly just for me, which is just sort of the way reading this novel has made me think about something I want to do if I get to the point where I'm writing fiction again, and sort of a certain type of value that fiction has. And the main reason for making that video is I just want to record it while it's in my head now, instead of trying to remember it 2-3 years from now, or however long. Anyways, I appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video, and like I said, there's just sort of a bonus one below, but it's not directly related to the essay.